What's going on, my Jack brother? Coach Scott here. In today's video, we're gonna talk about training to failure, and I'm gonna share some examples of how and when to incorporate it in your workouts. Now, this is an area I see holding way too many of my fellow bros back, in large part because the evidence-based community has made them feel afraid of training to failure, that they're gonna lose their gains, and in part because they're misinterpreting the research that's out there. Now, earlier research was actually in favor of training to failure, but what they found was the reason that group was experiencing greater muscle gains was because they were performing more total volume. So let's say they were doing the bench press, for example. The group that was leaving a couple reps in reserve was stopping at 6 repetitions, whereas the group that was trained to momentary muscular failure was performing 8 repetitions. So they were getting in more sets in their workouts. Once they did further studies where they equated the training volume, they found that there was no difference in muscle gains between the groups. So this caused a lot of people to say, well, if you're going to experience the same muscle gains leaving a couple reps in reserve compared to training to failure, why would you train to failure? You're going to recover better if you leave a couple reps in reserve. You're going to be able to hit that muscle group again a lot sooner in the week. But again, they're missing the big picture. They're missing the equating training volume. So again, let's use the bench press example there. If the group that was training to momentary muscular failure was training with 8 repetitions, 3 sets, they hit 24 total sets, in order to equate the volume, the group that was leaving 2 reps in reserve would have to do 4 sets. So are you doing more sets in your workout in order to kind of make up for not training to true momentary muscular failure? So that's an area that I see a lot of people lagging. They're misinterpreting the data. They're missing the point of how to get the best out of your training sessions there. The other thing is, research has shown that we really freaking suck at gauging what is true momentary muscular failure. For many people, what they think is failure is actually many reps in reserve. So if you're already stopping short of momentary muscular failure, thinking it's failure, and then you're leaving more reps in reserve in addition to that, you are training nowhere near true momentary muscular failure. Leaving 1 to 2 reps in the reserve is absolutely freaking brutal. Like, those sets are challenging. We're gonna get to examples coming up next. So this month in the Jacked at 40 Club, we are beginning the chest workout with the hammer strength chest press. This is my first workup set, 90 pounds for 6 repetitions, so absolutely nowhere near failure. This is just a way of getting comfortable with the movement. You can see that I'm going with a controlled tempo, the same tempo that I would be lifting with heavier weight. You want to resist that urge, that temptation to go faster just because the weight is lighter. The second workup set is 180 pounds for 5 repetitions. Once again, absolutely nowhere near training failure here. Again, getting comfortable with the movement and a heavier load. Now, the first working set is 270 pounds. I'm gonna get 9 repetitions here. So the goal is to leave a rep in the tank. I know I could have done a 10th repetition. That would have been true momentary muscular failure for me. But once I hit that 9th rep, I know I could do one more. Instead, I'm just gonna do a nice, slow, controlled negative here. So again, this is a challenge, like 9 repetitions with 270 pounds here. Knowing that I could maybe get one more quality rep, like that 10th rep, would have been a bit of a grind. It would have been a much slower repetition, but I could have gotten up there. It would have been a big challenge. But 9 reps here, that was a challenging set for me. So you get a feel for what 1 rep in reserve looks like. The second set was 290 pounds. And here I'm gonna end up getting 7 repetitions. I tried for an 8th and only got halfway up. So that's definitely a way of knowing that you reach true momentary muscular failure, is that you can only get a partial rep to finish it off here. And again, you can see like this, that 7th repetition, that was a really challenging repetition, but that's true momentary muscular failure. There was no reps in reserve for that second working set there. The third set, I kept the weight the same, so 290 pounds. And was only able to get 6 repetitions there. And you're gonna see on that 6th repetition, it was a struggle. Like, it was a slow repetition. It wasn't like I was manipulating, contorting my body in any way, shape, or form to force it up there. It was still good form. It was just much slower getting that weight up there. So again, that is what true momentary failure looks like when you're performing an exercise. Like, that rep is going to be slow. Again, you don't want it to be sloppy. You don't want to be trying to incorporate a lot of like supporting muscle groups to get that weight up there and like I said, contorting your body, but it should be a struggle to get that weight up there. And again, controlling that slow negative on the way down. So it was a struggle to get it up there, but we always have more on that negative going down. So don't just allow that weight to slam down. You can still, even when you struggle to get that concentric contraction up there, you can still control it on the way down with a nice slow negative to really make sure that you're getting the absolute most of it and really truly hitting momentary muscular failure. After that, I moved on to the incline dumbbell bench press. Didn't need a workup set there, already warmed up. So 3 working sets where the first one was like a rep in reserve, second one about a rep in reserve, third one true momentary muscular failure. And like truly after 2 chest exercises like that with that kind of effort, you're done. Like, you don't need any more. Your chest should be spent. Now this month we're doing some super compensation, so pushing the volume up a bit. We did some light machine flies at the end there. You can just feel the fatigue. You can feel it. You can't control the movement as well as you could if it was earlier in the workout or if you didn't like push it so hard there. So you really don't need a lot. So it can be very time efficient workouts when you're putting in this kind of effort. And if you just did those 2 exercises, you could like select another body part, maybe biceps or triceps, or even like if it's a push workout, do a shoulder exercise and a tricep exercise with that kind of effort. Done. Like that's all you freaking need when you're putting in that kind of effort with your training. Now, at the beginning of the year in the Jacked at 40 Club, we followed an 8-week low volume training phase where for each exercise, we did a couple workup sets, nice easy sets like you saw with the chest press there, and just one set to all out, balls to the wall, true momentary muscular failure. I absolutely loved it. It was something different, definitely something that I will incorporate more of in future programming, especially when I want to do like a low volume training phase. The beauty of it is that like the workouts don't seem so daunting. Again, they're very time efficient, and because you're only doing 1 set to all out true momentary muscular failure and everything else is like easy leading up to, like you're amped up to give it everything that you absolutely got. Now, other approaches that I have used in the past for many years is the first set, I'll leave like 2 to 3 reps in the tank. Second set, which is still freaking challenging exercise. It's challenging set. And then the second set, I leave 1 to 2 reps in the tank, which is a really challenging set. And then the last set was the last set, best set, absolutely everything that I got, maybe even finish off with a partial rep like you saw me do with the chest press there. And again, with each of these approaches, you're not gonna need a ton of exercises in order to get an incredibly effective workout. If you feel you could do more exercises, there's a great chance that you are training nowhere near true momentary muscular failure. Now, there are some exercises where you're gonna wanna be careful with and not really push to true momentary muscular failure. But if you're doing like isolation exercises, like every set should be to true momentary muscular failure with those. Those are safe and easy. Dumbbells, for sure, you should be able to get away with that. Hammer strength machines, like you saw the chest press there. But when it comes to like a barbell bench press, I wouldn't be training to true momentary muscular failure. Even with a spotter, you wanna make sure you're not like breaking their back or anything like that. So leave a rep in reserve with that. Same thing for squats. You definitely wanna make sure a barbell back squat, you're leaving a rep in reserve, or deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, anything where there's a higher risk there. Even with a machine like the hack squat here, which I find is safer than a barbell back squat, I'm still, and it does have a little safety pins in the bottom there, I'm still playing it safe. 270 pounds, I'm gonna get 9 repetitions here. I could have done 10 repetitions here. You can see like I could have stopped at 7. Like I got to 7 repetitions. Most people I think would stop at there, but I took a deep breath, was able to make a tough 8th repetition. There was a big challenge again. Most people probably would have stopped at that point, pushed out that 9th rep, which was a definite challenge. But if I took a couple breaths, I know I could have pushed out 1 more. It would have been a slow grind to get it up, but I definitely could have done that. And that is a great example, again, of what true momentary muscular failure looks like. Even that 7 reps was 3 reps in the tank, because I could have done 10 reps. If I stopped at 7, like most people did, that's 3 reps in the tank. And those 7 reps were incredibly freaking challenging. That could have been a set right there. 8 reps, 2 reps in reserve, 9 reps when I finished that 1 rep in reserve was brutally challenging. So you really gotta ask yourself, are you truly training to true momentary muscular failure? Are you truly leaving only 1 rep in reserve or 2 reps in reserve? Like if you're leaving like 3 reps maybe on your first set in reserve, but if you're leaving more than that in reserve there, you're wasting gains on the gym floor. And I encourage you to push yourself harder. And again, there is nothing wrong with leaving 1 or 2 reps in reserve, true 1 to 2 reps in reserve for all of your exercises if you feel more comfortable doing that. You don't want to train to true momentary muscular failure with any of your exercises because you find that you do not recover as well. Again, that's going to be very individual. This is something that I really want you to pay attention to, the number of sets that you're training to true momentary muscular failure, how many exercises you're doing in the workouts, and how well you're recovering. There's a lot of us that I think we underestimate ourselves. But again, if you are going to do all of your exercises with 1 to 2 reps in reserve, you're going to have to perform more total sets in order to equate to the same volume as someone who is pushing it to true momentary muscular failure with each set. So just stuff to be aware of, but again, it all comes down to what's going to suit you best. And this is where I'd really love to hear from you. So please take a moment to drop a comment down below to share your experiences. Are you well aware of how close you are training to failure, or do you think maybe you do have a little bit more within you? Are you someone who loves to push to momentary muscular failure on every set and do fewer exercises, get fewer sets, and have to get in and out of the gym in time efficient workouts? Or do you prefer to do like leave 1 to 2 reps in reserve, add more sets or add more exercises, and you don't mind being in the gym a little bit longer, just knowing that you're going to recover better? Maybe I'd love to hear from you, those of you who like love pushing it to true momentary muscular failure, and how well you recover between sets. Like I find no problem when you're structuring your workouts intelligently. Like I know 2 to 3 exercises is my max for a muscle group in a workout when I'm hitting true momentary muscular failure, or even like the first set or 2, leaving 1 rep in reserve. I recover incredibly well from workout to workout, and I don't experience diminishing returns in there. And it's knowing like every once in a while, dial things back to allow the fatigue to dissipate and my muscles to resensitize, my body to fully recover, and then hammer it up again. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you in the next video.